Hello there and welcome back to my channel. It is of course only me again, and thank you all so much for joining me on another metal detecting adventure. So if you've been following my channel over the last few weeks, you will know that I recently went out in a field with my metal detector and came across a silver Roman coin hoard. It's a huge find for me, a very special occasion indeed, and we ended up having 91 silver denarius, which are 2,000-year-old coins from this site. However, I left it for a couple of weeks because we couldn't get any more from that particular patch of the ground. It had rained really heavily in the meantime, and I thought the other day I would just go up and just see if there's any more to be found. Lo and behold, with the HF coil, I went in there and found another 3 coins lying about 5 to 6 inches below the surface. And that got me thinking, is there more coins in there that we just can't find? Have we missed the motherload? Well, I've been reading all of your comments and taking some more advice from other people who have found hoards, and they're all telling me that potentially in this site could be a ton more silver denarii. Well, I spoke to the farmer and I said, look, I cannot sleep until I know if we've got them all. So what can we do about it? And guess what? He said he has just the thing that we need in order to be able to find out once and for all if these coins are there. And that's because the farmer said he has a 5.5 ton digger that he will quite happily let us use, with a digger driver of course, to help excavate this site to get a little bit deeper under the ground to see if we can actually find if there is anything here whatsoever. I am totally excited for today because we are going to be excavating big long trenches nice and deep in the ground to see if we can find the motherload. So hopefully, fingers crossed, today we are going to get something good, if not even maybe a couple more coins. But if it means that I can sleep a good night's sleep knowing that I have absolutely done everything I can to clear this site full of ancient coins, then that for me is absolutely job done. Okay, so at this stage it's probably really important to point out that this isn't what you would normally do on a site that produces ancient coins, especially if you suspect that there's a hoard there. However, our hoard of coins was scattered around a huge area. So what we want to do is try and find out if there's actually a single source that they once came from, and whether or not years of ploughing have just disturbed that source and help us obviously find the ones that have scattered. Now the problem we have with this site is that we are cursed with heavily ferrite mineralized rock. It is absolutely all over this landscape, and it makes metal detecting extremely difficult because not only do the rocks give off a signal, but also the ground gives off a signal, and you're never really too sure as to what actually is a good target or not. So what we think is that potentially they might be masking the bigger pot of coins, and with a generic conventional metal detector we just can't push through that layer in order to find them. And that was kind of what was really bugging me, was that, you know, have we done everything we can? And I don't think we did, and I think the only option we had was to come here with a digger and just dig down layer by layer and hopefully just see if we hit anything at all. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate to you exactly what we're up against in this site with this rock. So we've got a patch of ground here which is relatively clean, not coming up as too mineralized, which is good. And now what we're going to do is put this button, which, okay, I know isn't a silver Roman denarii, but it's still a nice conductive target which should replicate a very similar response than a silver denarii. And have a listen. So even with that target just on this ground, we don't get a clean signal. It's just got just that little grunt afterwards. Now what's really interesting is if we get one piece of this rock, and don't forget this landscape is absolutely filled with this stuff. I cannot emphasize how much of this is here. In fact, I'll show you on the camera a bit later, but we'll take one piece of this rock and just stick it over this button. Now have a listen. There you go. We now have a target which sounds like iron and means that you probably wouldn't want to dig it. So that means we are forced to dig absolutely everything, including the iron that's coming out, including the rocks which give us a little loud chirp at the edge of it. So because of this one piece of rock, it completely masks a reasonably good little target. Well, it hasn't taken us too long to come down on another silver denarius from the hoard site. Oh, I'm so chuffed, you know, because this has come out of the spoil heap. And Brian was detecting where the digger was putting all the spoil, and he got this really, really nice signal. Now, unfortunately, yep, it is broke, but it doesn't look like a modern break because you can see that it's probably been broken for some time. And what's really cool about this one is it looks like another Faustina denarii, so it's definitely in line with some of the other ones that we've had out of this site, that's for sure. And of course it's got a nice bit of decoration on there as well, so it looks like this one is silver all the way through. It came up as a target ID, Brian said, of about 68 to 69, and he said it just stopped him in his tracks. It was a really nice target, and yeah, it was just fortunate that it had come out with the scoop of soil, landed in the spoil, and he found it with his metal detector. But that is not a bad start at all. I'm pretty sure we are going to get some more today. Hopefully they're all not broken, but can't guarantee that. But yeah, let's keep going and see if we can get any more amazing silver denarii. So take a little listen to this absolutely horrendous piece of rock. Now I've just dug this out of one of the spoil heaps, and this is the kind of thing that we are dealing with. It's spiking in the kind of 70s, 80s, 79. Yeah, it's just horrendous. And so you have to obviously deal with this whilst you're trying to look for targets, and you're thinking, well, is this a target? Is it near this rock? Should I dig it? And 99 times out of 100, it turns out to be pieces of this rock. But if we take the rock away, you'll see it's absolutely quiet. The ground's a little bit mineralized here, but nice and quiet. You put the rock back, and if you just catch it on the right angle, you get one of those horrible, horrible spikes. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you the ground that we are dealing with here, and why we've had to come with a digger, because we cannot get the depth, we cannot go much deeper because of this rock. And so the only way to find out if there's a huge mass of hoard coins here is to get in there and dig them out. So we're now at about midday, we've just had our lunch, and of course we've come back to do some more metal detecting in the spoil heaps. Not very long after returning to this part of the field, I had a target, and it is another silver denarii, and it's still lying in the bottom of the hole. So come and have a look at this one, because this one looks like a really nice one, and I don't think it's broken either. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so just in the bottom of this hole, you will see something shining there. And of course, that is going to be a silver ancient coin. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. And what I can't really tell about this is whether it's come from the spoil or whether that's in the subsoil layer of the bit that we've already dug. I have no idea, but it's still another find. It's another complete silver denarius, and of course it looks like it's got some really cool decoration on there as well. So as you guys probably know by now, I don't really know a lot about Roman coins because there's so many different types, so many different variations, but I think just by having a quick look at that, it says something like Germanicus or something, because it's got G-E-R-M, possibly an I-M. So it could be a Germanicus silver denarii, and it's got an amazing picture on that side as well, with something really cool going on there. And it's another silver coin to add to the hoard total. And that is exactly why we've come here to do this. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it takes a lot of effort, but if we can add to the total and clear out this site of Roman coins, that makes it all worth it. So we've just gone and found another possible little Roman coin. However, this one is nothing to write home about, unfortunately, because if it is a Roman coin, it's just a very small part of it. Unfortunately, we could have broken it with the digger, but it also could have been broken in antiquity. We don't know. The very first day that we came here, we were finding Roman coins that were broken as well. So you have to remember that this field has been ploughed several times in the past. So we're only doing so much damage, and nothing here is really in situ unless it's in the subsoil layer. However, pretty sure it is one. So come in and take a look, and let's see if we can figure out who might be on it. So this is the tiny little slither that has just come out of the ground, and yeah, as you can see, there's not an awful lot left on it, unfortunately. And I think it is very possibly a modern break, but what's really cool about it is it looks almost like a cut quarter. So, you know, this is broken perfectly in a sort of little triangular sort of pizza slice shape. But what I can see just on this side is somebody's head. So that's really, really cool. Although we're not going to be able to read anything off of the legend, we might be able to work out who that might be, because you can just see the top of the head there and a nose. So, I mean, I'll take a wild stab in the dark here and say that that could be a Hadrian, just because I kind of recognise the portrait, but honestly, I don't know at all. Absolutely no idea. But it's another slither of a Roman coin from this site, and we haven't come down on the motherload yet, although we have been detecting in the subsoil layer and the spoil heaps. So we've just got to keep going, and hopefully we will find what is truly here. Okay, so next up out of the hoard site, we have an interesting little copper alloy item. Now, you know, we have been over this patch countless amounts of times. And trust me, if there was anything here that was this big and this long, we would have found it before, because we have covered every square inch of this patch. However, because we've come here today with a digger, we're now pulling up things just deep enough that we couldn't get them before, or they were being masked by some of the stones that were in here. And this little item is no exception, because I'm quite intrigued by it, and the reason why I say that is because it's got a little point in this end with a slight bend in it, and it looks like it was possibly once part of something that was maybe a bit longer, and it's broken off here. Now the reason why I like this is because it could be like a nail cleaner, like a little Roman nail cleaner, because you could just see that that would work almost perfectly for that type of use. But it is made of copper alloy as well, so that really does kind of push us in the right direction. I've just never ever kind of seen one that looks like that, with this kind of fold here in the design. I don't know, it is a long shot, but I'm going to throw this out to all of you watching. What do you think? Do you think this is a nail cleaner, or is this just a piece of modern trash? Well, regardless, we will be keeping it and putting it with the rest of the bits that we're picking up in this field, so that we can show the finds liaison officer. And yeah, if it is Roman, happy days. If it isn't, then you know what? We would not have found it before. So it's probably important to mention at this stage our plan of action. So what we're doing is we're digging great big, long, sort of 20-meter trenches in strips all across the hotspot of where we originally found these ancient coins. And then one person is going in the trench to check the subsoil layer to make sure that we aren't hitting the huge pot of coins which we hope is here. And the other person is then going along the spoil heap, which is all along the side of the trench in a sort of pile. However, that's getting squashed down so that we can really get in there and try and figure out if there's any in the loose soil in these trenches. So in total, we're probably going to end up digging about 20 of these trenches just to get nice and deep all along this particular section where we were finding the coins. And it's going to be a lot of work, but you know, we found a few already, and it's certainly been worth it. And if it means that I can sleep at night knowing that there definitely isn't a pot here, then it will all be worth it. Okay, so looks like Bryce's got quite a nice target down here, which he says is about 76, 77, right?
Yeah, bang on both ways, 76.
And that's in this new trench, and it's come out of the spoil of the trench as well. So not an in situ coin, but well, don't even know if it's coin. Could be a rusty nail.
Sounds like it's right on the top.
Let's give it a go. Hopefully it's going to be something good.
There it is.
Oh, it is. It's a silver coin. Yeah.
It's a full one as well.
Oh, amazing. Look at that. Just come out of this spoil.
Yeah, there you go. There's another one.
Oh, that's a beauty. Show the camera. Cheers, mate. Look at that. So another denarii, but it's come out of the spoil. And although it's a great find for us, because yeah, we found another silver denarii, it's not coming out of the subsoil layer, which to be honest is kind of what I want, because the subsoil coins will tell us that there might be a bigger pot. But I'm still happy to find it. It's absolutely wonderful, and of course it does add to the total of the coins that we found in here as well. So what an absolute beauty. Don't want to clean it up too much. We'll give it a proper clean when we get home, and hopefully I can tell you a little bit more about it on the video. But there we are, another silver ancient Roman coin. So from the very same trench that other silver denarius came out of, we have had another one in the spoil, and this was a really nice kind of 82, 83 I think, and yet you can just see it poking out of the soil here. So we'll get it out and have a little look and see who is on this one, because don't forget we have already had some amazing coins today, including what looks like a vitellius. So you never know what you're going to get from this site. They are all so unusual, they are all so different, and some of them are just super special coins with so much history surrounding them. And it looks like this one is once again just another absolutely truly stunning Stunning little coin. It's just amazing how well some of these coins come out of here, because they just look like they were minted yesterday with so much amazing detail on it. Let's have a little closer look. We'll show you the camera. So who is on that one? Is that Antonius Pius or is that Hadrian? Don't really know. It's pretty difficult to see at this stage, but you can see just how amazing the detail is on this coin, right? I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely stunning. A lovely little silver coin. And don't forget, these things are 2,000 years old. Just to put that into perspective, if you bury a modern coin and leave it in the ground for only a few weeks, they are absolutely toasted. Yet these things have been in the ground for so long and they come out looking like this. It's just an incredible thing to pull one out of the ground and see the face of an emperor which has pretty much the same detail on it as the day that it was minted. So we've just started another trench working along the hotspot of this field, and out of the spill of this trench we've gone and found another awesome little Roman coin, and this one again just looks like it's going to have absolutely amazing decoration on there and detail. So what's really cool is that when you're detecting the spoil heaps, because it's kind of being spread out a little bit, when you get the target, it just sounds phenomenal. Honestly, it sounds so good. So you know straight away whether it is a coin and that it's not one of those horrible rocks that I showed you earlier on in the video. Still waiting to get them down in the trench though, to be honest with you, but let's take a little closer look at this one. Okay, so let's give this a little clean up and see if we can get anything from it at all. It's completely undamaged, this one, so it's got some absolutely wonderful detail on there, and yeah, no idea who is on that side, to be honest with you. Absolutely no idea. But let's just see if we can pick some of the mud off of this side and have a closer look. Yeah, that's come up really nicely. Really nice coin, this one. Such a great example. Let's just see if we can just be gentle and just take off some of this mud. It is just mud. I don't think there's many stones in it, so that's fine. And guys, if you're watching this video going, don't rub these coins, trust me, rubbing it gently with my finger like that is going to do no damage to this coin. This coin has been in the ground for thousands of years, right? It's been around rocks and soil, it's been through multiple plows. Any damage I'm going to do with my finger going like this is absolutely nothing. Trust me, it's absolutely fine. And they're silver, so you know, they obviously are a little bit more hardy than your sort of copper alloy coins that might degrade. But yeah, that is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I have no idea who that is, but I can see on this side here it says Augustus, and then on that side there it says possibly Trajan or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. So guys, if you're looking at this coin and you know who you think this might be, hit me up in the comments below, let me know. I always love to know everyone's points of view. But that's another silver Roman coin from these trenches. Let's keep going, let's see how many more we can get, and of course I will show you all on the camera as they come out. Okay, so we have another coin in the spoil heap, and This one would never have been found if we didn't squash this spoil heap down, but it was an absolutely wonderful, wonderful little signal. Coming in at about 86, this one, and yeah, you can definitely see why, can't you? Because it is, of course, another silver ancient Roman coin. And let's just see if we can get any detail from this one at all. So we've got a seated god there on the front. Looks a little bit like Britannia, doesn't it? We've had a few of those with that kind of seated depiction there on there. And of course we'll look on the other side. And who have we got? Oh, well, I mean, it's just a stunning portrait, isn't it? Once again, the coins that we've had coming out today have been absolutely awesome. And yeah, we've had a couple of broken ones, but you know, if you get one like this in and amongst the broken ones, then you are really not bothered at all, because this is obviously a very special little coin indeed. And I'm just trying to kind of read who is on here, and to be honest, I can't really see what that says, but I think it says something like Caesar or something like that, but I could very well be wrong. I could very well be wrong. I don't recognise the portrait, but it could be Hadrian, maybe. Very possibly could be Hadrian. But where, unfortunately, the name was, this coin has been a little bit off-struck, so it means that, unfortunately, you don't get the part of the legend around there. And it's not broken, it's exactly how it came out of the mint like that. So obviously quality control at this moment in time was pretty lax, but another amazing silver ancient coin there from the ground. I just wonder how many more we're going to get, and are we going to hit the motherload? That is the big question. Well, if we do, you of course will see it first here on the video. Well, looks like we've gone and found another one in the spoil heap as well. And I've got to be really careful I don't get run over by this digger, so I'm quite glad that I've only just gone and found this, because he's starting to backfill the trench so that we can move on to another one. So I'll show you this on the camera. It's definitely another silver denarii, but it's quite an interesting one. Come take a look. Okay, so here is the coin that I just found in the last bit of the spoil that I was checking, and as you can see, it's most certainly another little silver denarius, and it looks like it's got the Emperor Vespasian on this one. And that's really cool, because if you remember when we first started finding coins in this site, we were getting loads of Vespasian silver coins coming out, so it was quite interesting that we hadn't had any since then, but now it looks like very possibly we have just gone and found another one. I mean, it's either Vespasian, isn't it, or it's his son Vitellius or something like that. It's just got a very, very stereotypical head on this one, which does make me think that it could very well be Vespasian, but there's not an awful lot on this side, unfortunately. It's quite worn, but you can just see that there's something going on there, maybe like a standing god holding a staff or something like that. But hey, look, it is another coin from here, and we're doing pretty well considering we had gone over this ground so many times with our metal detectors. All of these coins now that we're finding are just the ones that were way too deep for us to get. So yeah, happy days, another silver Roman coin. Well guys, we are now at the end of what is very possibly the longest and most hardest day's metal detecting I have ever done. We got here at about 8:30 this morning. It's now gone 7 o'clock at night. The digger has just left the fields, and we have systematically dug 1 meter trenches all across this field, whilst detecting in the trenches and detecting all of the spoil, then covering it up, detecting over the top again, moving on to the next one and the next one until we had completed this whole site. And guys, this field looks like a building site, but trust me, it was been absolutely worth it. Did we find the pot? No, we didn't find the pot. Did I think we'd find a pot? I don't think I did. I hoped that we would find it, but I was never sure that we were going to come here and find a larger cache of coins. And what it has proved to us is that our initial investigations, without digging the soil and going deeper, has proved that actually the metal detectors did their job really, really well at cleaning out some of the coins that we could find within the range of our metal detector. But of course, coming here, excavating trenches, going down that little bit further and flipping the soil around has just meant that we've managed to get the ones that slipped too deep for us to detect before. So we've pretty much got most of the coins that have come out of here. But there is one thing left to do. And that's because now we have disturbed all of this soil, put it back where it belongs, and flattened down this field. It means that all we have to do now is just wait for the rain and gravity to do its work, come here, and everything will just settle down again to a nice natural-ish level. And that means we've got one more shot to go over this patch with our detectors and just see if there was any in the surface layer that we have missed. But that's going to be another video. And that of course leads me to say thank you all so much for following along to this hoard video. It's been an absolutely monumental time for me, draining as well, because we've got all these coins to ID, all of these things to find, huge rocks that we need to move out of the way of the digger. But it has been so worth it. And thank you all so much for following along. Thank you all for commenting. I've tried to get to all the comments, but things have been really busy. You know, finding this hoard takes up a lot of time. And of course, that means you've got very minimal time for other things. But I will try and get around to responding to each and every one of you. And next week's video is going to be me showing you every single coin, well, hopefully every single coin that has come out of this field in greater detail. So thank you all for tagging along. Thanks for coming along with us. And of course, I will see you on the very next hunt.